Good morning, I'm Audrey Gasolreno. It's 2:31 right now in the morning. We have an update on that breaking news that's been developing overnight. Right now we've learned that 7 officers were shot overnight in a SWAT situation, a situation that really started as a suicide in progress call. And we've learned from SAPD that the suspect is dead at this hour. Now, they were not able to tell us whether that suspect killed themselves or was killed by a SWAT officer, but we are still waiting to learn those details. But right now I want to go over some of the things we were told. So this all started around 8:20 last night. Officers were responding to a suicide in progress that was at Sonterra Heights apartment complex off Stoneway Parkway. Now around 8:48, SAPD tweeted out to avoid the shooting scene. That's when we learned 1 officer was shot and subsequently 3 others. So a total of 4 officers were shot at the time. That's what we've learned. Now SAPD told us they were all transported to BAMC and they were said to have non-life-threatening injuries. But we just got an update from SAPD. They did post a video on their Facebook page with an update. So we were not able to talk to them directly, but here's what Chief McManus said in that video. He said the first officer arrived at that scene around 8:30 Wednesday evening and was shot, and subsequently 6 other officers were also shot. So that's a total of 7 officers. That's a huge update that we're getting at this 2:30 a.m. hour on Thursday morning that we didn't have overnight. So as far as those new officers, those 3 we're just learning about, we don't know their conditions. So we are trying to work on that. SAPD also said that the man barricaded himself inside the apartment. They had SWAT. They even brought in hostage negotiators, and they were talking to this suspect for over 6 hours. This situation has been unfolding overnight as you were sleeping. But at the end of the event, the suspect was found dead. Again, they don't know if the suspect, believed to be in his 40s, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, or if that suspect was shot by a SWAT officer. They're still waiting to learn that. Now, we did learn some things from Chief McManus about this suspect. He had 3 arrests that all happened on January 18th. 2 of those for assault and 1 for DWI, and this suspect was out on bond. Now, we were at that staging scene. However, Chief McManus shot this video and gave that update with no media around, so we were not able to ask the name of this suspect. But clearly SAPD has identified him if they know that he had 3 arrests and they know that he was arrested on January 18th and was out on bond. We also were not able to get any updates on those 7 officers who were shot during that situation. So again, around 10 last night on Wednesday, we were told that it was 4 officers shot. Just now, around 2 a.m., we learned from SAPD's video they posted on their Facebook page that it is 7 officers who were shot in that situation. That started as an officer responding to a suicide in progress. It developed into a SWAT situation overnight, over 6 hours, and we're now learning that 7 officers were shot during that situation. Now, we were able to speak to some people who live there at the property at Sonterra Heights apartment complex. Joseph Laredo, he actually was an eyewitness. He heard the popping sounds, went out on his balcony and actually saw SWAT officers around the complex. He saw an officer down, which he believes the officer was shot because he believes they were tending to that officer who was injured, and then they dragged him off. So really a volatile scene there overnight. SAPD did say that they evacuated as many people safely as they could, but the people who were not able to evacuate safely from that complex, they left them there and told them to stay put for their safety. We do have crews at the scene, and they've been there all night monitoring the situation. SAPD and other law enforcement have been there. SWAT has been there all night. So yeah, that is the latest. As of now, we know 7 officers shot at that situation that developed in the 18,000 block of Stoneway Parkway at the Sonterra Heights apartment complex. 7 officers shot. The suspect is dead at this hour. We are not sure if that suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound or if they were shot by a SWAT officer. Still waiting to learn those details. Again, we were not able to ask Chief McManus any questions. They posted that video with an update to their Facebook page, and of course we're going to share it with you as well. So we do know that suspect in his 40s had 3 arrests, arrested on January 18th, 2 for assault and 1 for DWI, and that suspect was out on bond. So that is the very latest right now. Definitely going to try and learn more about this suspect and about those officers, because of course it is a huge concern. The 4 officers we know were transported to BAMC. We don't know where the additional 3 were transported. We're assuming BAMC, but again, we weren't able to ask those questions. But our thoughts and prayers go out to those officers. You know, it always shakes everyone to their core when an officer gets shot or injured in any type of situation. So definitely thinking of them and their families at this hour. But Chief McManus is happy to say that that situation has wrapped up this evening. This morning, actually, Thursday morning, around 2 a.m., we learned that that suspect is no longer alive, and they're waiting to learn whether that suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound or if he was shot by a SWAT officer. So that is the very latest as of now from that scene. All right, so be sure to join us. KENS 5 News this morning does start at 4:30 a.m. and we'll bring you the very latest from our teams at the scene.